great America, and who knows where we'll go next.
Yeah.
Tim and Will in 3D.
So Richie, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
It's like Australia, huh?
just like back home.
All right, here we are. Of course, behind the scenes of America.com. We're out here in Livingston, Montana. Is it technically Livingston?
We're in Emigrant.
So Richie, tell us about the town, you know?
So it's set in 1880.
Yeah.
We did a lot of historical work with that. Lindsay Moran was the original production designer of the town, and she'd worked on Hunger Games and some big films, so she knew about big sets.
Yeah, yeah.
And so if you walk around the town, you know, the livery is one of my favorite buildings just because the light that comes through.
Yeah.
And we have 28 buildings, but every 3 buildings is a real build. So
sure.
You've got a mercantile, and then you've got a jail,
Yeah.
and then across the road a saloon with a brothel. They're all real buildings. Across the road, the town hall, that could be a courthouse.
Yeah.
Another inn and mercantile, and then obviously the church, which is
Great.
which is pretty special.
It's very special, and it has that. You see that church, and you go, I think I saw that in this film because of the way it was built. It has that authentic look that you've seen in many films.
Yeah, and it's an interesting structure. It's actually built with steel, and you can take it apart. Because, you know, you read scripts where they want to burn the church down.
So you need the top.
And so you can take the bell tower off to make it look less, you know, huge.
God.
But you can also move the whole building.
Wow.
So you could build an effigy and burn that down.
Jeez,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's kind of like a Lego Wild West town.
Yeah.
And what's great, I suppose, about it, and I shot in Western towns up in Calgary, and it's a bit similar to that. And but you can do your interiors and exteriors here, which is amazing.
We build it bigger than it would have been, just knowing the camera crews.
Yeah.
And unlike the other towns that were built for and have just slowly expanded.
Yeah.
We kind of built it for the future.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
see.
What are some of the films that you've done out here?
Okay, so I made a little ghost coming of age story called Broken Ghost, very small budget, and then just a couple of years back we made Robert the Bruce, you know, obviously the Scottish king, and that was really interesting to shoot it here. But we had Shoris Wallace in Scotland show us locations in Scotland that looked really similar. To this.
Yeah.
And so we filmed, you know, about 70% of that film here, and then 30% of it in Scotland.
Let's talk about, it closes up by asking about the other amenities in town, because one thing is that, and I've been to New Mexico, I've been to Texas, and all these different towns like this. What's unique about this really is the fact that you got great local culture. We're staying at an amazing place. There's a lot of space that they can come here with crews.
They can, and so we picked this spot. So I've got the partner that I made the movies with, Carter Bain, and another partner, Colin Davis, who owns the local resort, Chico Hot Springs, which we might be getting into shortly.
Yeah. Have a whiskey, maybe. You know.
But Colin came to us and said, "Why didn't you put it here?" And Carter was all for it because we got lodging. So in this little town of Emigrant, there's 300 rooms in 2 different hotels, pubs and catering, and then Livingston is just big enough as a city to be able to have a full crew.
Yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned the Murray Hotel. Is the very first place I went into in Livingston, and you go in there and you see that Anthony Bourdain was here. Sam Peckinpah had a room upstairs.
Yeah.
It's pretty special.
It really is. It really is.
And the people are just so absolutely wonderful, helpful. Sarah, we've had such a good time with her bringing us around. So you have a great town. A Wild West town, and a great town in general. So if they want to get a hold of you, what's the website?
So Yellowstone Film Ranch on Instagram, you know, you can go on there and see all the photos and the different productions that are coming through, and YellowstoneFilmRanch.com as well.
Good.
Right.
And what we love most is you used to have to go to Canada to get this town in this weather.
Yes.
And now we can make these films in America.
It's fantastic.
And tell Montanan stories in Montana.
Yeah, which I love. And what's great as well is, I mean, obviously it was a big risk to do this, and Westerns weren't that popular, and you couldn't get them made, and all of a sudden,
boom,
there's loads of Westerns, and you're
amazing.
booked up, are you not?
Yeah, we're booked till April.
That's fantastic.
I had no idea, like 6 Westerns in a row, and it's great because there's such an important genre.
Oh, I love it.
Is there anything for the future that we should look forward to with what you're doing?
Yeah, so we just shot the first Western filmed here. It's called Murder at Immigrant Gulch. It's going to be called Murder in Yellowstone City, because Immigrant was called Yellowstone City in the 1860s.
Okay.
And so it makes sense, and this is Yellowstone Film Ranch. So that'll come out in the summer, and it was, the very first film shot here. So it's pretty special to us.
Congratulations, it's great. Love it.
He said a really cool word, summer. Let's get out of here and go find some of that.
Hot spring.
Come on, follow me.